This house was built in 1903 as part of the Maudlsay Estate, and it was designed never to be lived in by its owners. It was designed to be lived in by the employees of the Maudslays.
Welcome to the Maudslay Estate Gatekeeper's house. I'm here with Teddy, head of Theater in the Open, and also the occupant of this beautiful home behind you. I wanted him to explain the history of the house and why he needed BLB to come in and kind of restore it to its former glory.
So I get to live here with my wife and my two daughters in the upstairs, but the ground floor is the headquarters of Theater in the Open, and all around us is the campus of our summer arts workshop. The house, we've been here for more than 30 years, but we were on short-term agreements. Now that we're on a long-term agreement, we could finally really invest in the large projects that had to happen.
So one of the biggest issues is, obviously, this house is beautiful. It's an architectural gem. But one of the big issues is that the stucco siding is not really meant for New England, right? And when they did it back in the early 1900s originally, there was no water screen. So the water got in and it couldn't get out. And a lot of the framing was compromised. And you didn't know it from looking at it from the outside because all the stucco was intact. But as we got into it and started ripping corners apart, we discovered that a lot of the framing wasn't even supporting the house. So that was one of the biggest issues. And then obviously trying to match the existing stucco that's 100 years old to the new stucco created some challenges. A couple other things, the gutters were all wooden gutters, and we know how durable wooden gutters are in New England. They did not hold up. So what we did is we used the historical profile of the wood gutter, but we made them out of fiberglass. So one of the coolest details about this house was the crown molding that was all around the fascia. So obviously it was all rotted out when we got to it. And then what we did is we took the original profile, and I had my mill worker and carve out the exact same profile in new mahogany. So up here, right underneath the gutter, there's a piece of crown. And as you can see, the gutter is integrated into the crown. It sits above it. And then the downspout obviously comes through the crown molding. So that was an original detail that we replicated. And again, it was the water beforehand was going right behind the gutter, and it was just dripping down all behind the stucco. It was freezing, and then it basically popped the stucco off of the lab that it was on. So that was one of the details that we fixed. It's a new roof as well. So now we have the fiberglass gutter with new roof, proper flashing, and we should be good for another 100 years. So let's take a look around the other side, and I'll show you a few of the window details. All right, so this side of the house was particularly in really rough shape because it is the north side of the house. It doesn't get a lot of exposure to the sun, so it didn't have a lot of time for things to dry out over here. This entire window was compromised when we got to it, so we basically had to rebuild the whole thing. The sashes were in good shape, but all of the trim, this molding right here is all mahogany. We had to replicate the profile there. Rebuilt the sill, also replicated this apron molding. And so all of the stucco on this side that you see is all new. Behind the stucco, there is a rain screen. So basically we put vertical strapping. And so behind that, there's a weather barrier. And so if the water does get in, it now has a chance to come down, and it can escape at the bottom here. All of the siding that you see up here is all natural red cedar, which is what was here originally. So we wanted to replicate it again the best as we could from what was originally here. All right, here we are at the porch. So this actually used to be the front of the house, but it's not being used as the front anymore. We have a rubber roof above that was, again, fully compromised. It was leaking. We reconstructed it using pictures that we found of the original porch. And so all of this is exactly how it was originally, but every piece now is made out of mahogany, primed, painted, and then the gutter extends around the whole porch. There was no gutter here originally, so we took the detail from the other sides of the house and just wanted to make it consistent around. And now the porch is nice and dry, and they don't have any issues with backsplash or things rotting out underneath. All right, thanks for tuning in, everyone. This has been a great project to work on, restoring the beautiful, historic elegance of this home behind me, and also working for the community and really being able to give back, and really helping Teddy out in Theater in the Open was quite a treat. So thank you.
Yeah, and I need to thank the wonderful people at MCC and DCR, Mass Development, for making this possible. Also to the H. Patterson Hale Jr. Foundation, and he's being modest. BLB actually donated $25,000 directly to this project as well. So we couldn't do it without your generosity, without the generosity of all of our community. And if you want to give, you're still welcome to get a paver or get a leaf up on the house, because we're going to keep going for another 120 years, right?
Yep, exactly. So thank you for tuning in, guys, and have a great one.